All right, guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So, for today, I'm going to be going over an article here that I think you're really going to like. It's an excellent article that talks about how basically, to no surprise, women in this day and age are finding it really hard to find what they call a good man, particularly women that are obviously in their 30s and 40s and so forth. And the article goes into great detail in all these different areas I agree upon about how the feminist movement is to thank for how things are today in terms of the state of men. How everything from how kids are raised and how the attacks on boys basically being boys, things like that, and the impact it has had from childhood, teenage years, high school, college, and where we are today. And you have all these frustrated, lonely women that simply have no chance in hell of getting married, and their biological clocks are going haywire, and it's, hey, tough crap, because thanks to feminism, it has to have a negative impact on men. And truly, this is one of the best articles I've read. It's not too long, but it really hits everything hard. So I'm going to go into this now. The title of the article is, Why is a Good Man So Hard to Find? Blame the War on Boys and Men. Starts off saying, Gina Thurbedeau, a Hannah Frischberg's Post feature this week, noted, is a single woman seeking a male partner in New York, preferably for marriage. She seems to have it all: beauty, success, and youth. And says in parentheses here, though at 38, she's old enough to be tormented by the ticking of her biological clock. Well, 38 is not youth. Let's be honest here. The prime for women is generally her late teens and 20s. Plenty of beautiful, good-looking, in-shape women in their 30s, even late 30s. I've seen plenty of them. I've dated plenty of them. But it's not the same as the 20s. And why aren't they looking for guys in their 20s? We all know the answer to that. Who influenced that? We know the answer to that. The woman here is quoted as saying, dudes these days just do less across the board. In particular, they just don't go out there and make money. Money, money, money. What I tell you guys was the number one attractive thing to women. I can't really pronounce your last name, so bear with me here. Thibodeau assertion was backed up by recent academic study, as Frischberg noted, confirming that yes, there is a shortage of economically attractive partners for unmarried women to marry. Hello, what did anyone expect? As Dr. Helen Smith put in her 2013 book, Men on Strike, increasing numbers of men are boycotting marriage and fatherhood, and even engaging with women at all. I think I know a few people that follow me that are not engaging women at all, except via commitment-free hookup culture. But why would they? After 50 years, and this says in parentheses, dating from the onset of first-wave feminism in the 1970s, of relentless society-wide put-downs of the male sex. Don't take my word for it. Read Christina Hoff Sommers' book, The War Against Boys, written almost 20 years ago. She documents, for example, how boys' natural rambunctiousness was beginning to be diagnosed as a disorder and treated with drugs like Ritalin. There are so many kids out there that are they're good kids and they're obviously a little hyper. And what is the first reaction? What do? Drug them. I've known kids in my family, same thing. The parents are idiots. Drug them. And it's across the board. And boys are just simply being boys, It's much easier. And people can say, the doctors are getting kickbacks from the drug companies and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure that's the case. But instead of nowadays a parent actually being a parent and dealing with the kids and actually raising them, it's easier just to put them on some drug to screw them up. It really is a shame. She describes the elimination of recess at school and notes that competition in school sports was discouraged via the everybody gets a trophy mentality. That is the biggest bunch of bullshit. I remember when I first came on the scene, I had little nephews that were, 4 or 5 years old, and my cousin, she would throw a birthday party for them because they're both born in the summertime. There'd be all these kids over there, and I'd see all these toys and pride. I'm like, what the hell is this? He said, oh, everybody's got to get one. I said, why? That's just how things are. And my cousin, she's by no means someone to subscribe to that crap, but that's one area she caved. All these kids get a trophy. All these kids get a present. When I was a kid, you went to a birthday party, that kid got the present. Everybody else opened up the present. That kid opened up the presents and he hung out and so forth. You didn't have other kids get presents. That was bullshit. And also, in terms of eliminating recess, believe me, I remember, I still at this age remember what it was like to be in elementary school. We had to get outside and let that energy out, you know? I mean, it's crazy they're getting rid of recess. And also, I remember as I got older, I'd heard they got rid of sports like dodgeball and things like that. We loved dodgeball when we were kids. We'd be there in the middle and we'd throw the balls at our friends' heads and backs. Nobody got hurt. And even if you got bruised a little bit, who cares? Toughen up. But they get rid of that. And sometimes I've heard they've gotten rid of that because, you know, you obviously, people would pick teams and the people always got picked last, their feelings would be hurt. Good Lord. What kind of generation of boys does this condition? What kind of men do these boys become when you eliminate some of these things? Goes on to say, now those boys, schooled in girl-favoring elementary schools, are all grown up and ready for colleges, which Smith calls hostile environments for men. Any of you college guys out there that are watching this right now, let me know how it is in college. Let me know how things are with you guys and how the treatment of you and the attitude is. These are the workshops designed to rid men of their toxic masculinity, where frat culture is sneered at and even targeted. Who can forget the Rolling Stone smear of an entire fraternity charging its members with gang rape? The article was eventually exposed as a complete fabrication, big surprise, that everyone is expected to reflectively believe because it starred one of those dreaded frats. I'm not saying that frats don't have a bad reputation. I mean, there have been plenty of frats that have done a lot of things and, you know, so forth. But to just blame everybody across the board, that's not cool. It says here, men find themselves accused of being part of a rape culture merely for being men. If one commits a sexual misstep, which is fairly easy to do these days, especially in a world where young female students are encouraged to liberate themselves sexually by acting like sailors on leave, they face star chamber-like sexual misbehavior hearings and lack even rudimentary due process protections and can result in expulsion. Yeah, that's definitely what goes on. And it says here, in parentheses, at least Education Secretary Betsy DeVos is trying to change that nightmare. Then comes workplace and sexual harassment litigation and the recent scourge of Me Too cases, which has swept a huge variety of fish into its net, including guys who truly didn't realize their date just wasn't so into them, as a writer for the Boston Globe put it. Boston Globe's my city. It's been 50 years of women wanting to have their cake and eat it too. Regarding the military, for instance, we're told that women must be regarded as absolutely the same as men. It's sexism, not differences in upper body strength, height, or oxygen processing, that holds them back from being slotted into combat units. Yet we are supposed to believe that women can't say no, or something much stronger, when authoritative and powerful men demand sexual favors. Sorry, but you can't have it both ways, feminists. If the average woman can't rebuff the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, how is she, even if armed and trained, going to fight off ruthless ISIS fighters? That's a good point. Part of the point of earning money, by the way, was once to woo a woman, to make oneself a good catch, to support a family. If wooing is now fraught with danger, and supporting a woman and children is deemed condescending, even oppressive, it's no surprise that some men now see less of a need to focus on their careers. Couldn't you see that coming? Starts with childhood, teenage years, college, and adulthood. They're discouraged to act masculine. Masculine energy is about drive, purpose, achieving new things, breaking through barriers, things like that. But when they're discouraged to behave in a masculine way, so why should they try to be ambitious and have goals and be successful and so forth? It's been driven out of them. While on the opposite, women have been driven to behave like that, behave like men. So you have men behaving like women and women behaving like men. So is there any surprise that women are claiming, where are all the good men? Well, we knew who to thank for this. Again, guys, this is why it's so important to have awareness, to do the best to improve yourselves, get your life together, and be successful, and set a really good example for this generation and the ones to come. Whether you are indeed a father or grandfather, uncle, cousin, older brother, whatever it happens to be. I know I have guys watching me from all over the world, ranging from teenage years up into the 70s. So all of us can do our part to help out. It says here, moreover, earning just a livable income generally requires qualities like aggression and competitiveness that we have seen systematically discouraged. Just what I said. Add it all up, and you get men who no longer have the historical motivations for going to college and jumping into what they used to call the rat race. For women, it adds up to a lot of lonely nights. So, this is why I said this was a very good article. It really covers everything. Not too long, but covers the main issues. So like I said before, it's important that we spread awareness, do our job to be the best we can be, the best men we can be, strong, set the good example, go for our goals, improve ourselves both physically, mentally, emotionally, make good money, and set the good example for everybody else. That's why I want you guys doing everything you can to better yourselves, get your lives in order, and set that example. And because people follow leaders, do these things, people will look up to you, they'll respect you. And hopefully, generation or so, we can reverse this trend. I'm really hoping. I don't have any kids. I don't plan to ever have any kids, but I guarantee you, if for whatever reason I did end up having kids today, I have to be adopted, of course. Never going to say never. You can bet your ass that I'll be doing everything I can to raise real men, not little crybabies. The unfortunate thing is in the schools have a major influence on the kids, and but at the end of the day, I would simply tell the kid, hey, you listen to me. Don't listen to your teachers. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Thought it was a really good article here to share. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know how things are going. Let me know, you younger guys, you guys that are in college in your 20s, tell me about what it was like in college. Tell me what it was like in elementary school and high school and so forth, what you experienced. Did they take away your gym class? Did they take away your recess? And also, let me know about if you guys have kids or grandkids or nephews. What have you observed with the boys and how the boys are being raised? I'd love to hear about it. This will definitely help some people out. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time.